Welcome back to another episode of Four Brown Chicks. As you can tell, things are a little bit different this time in honor of Halloween and just the spooky autumn season. We decided to dress up for this ladies' night. So before we explain what ladies' night is, let's talk about our looks. We all decided to choose a goddess. And Shay, you want to kick us off?
Yes, so the goddess that I chose, her name is Hecate. I believe that's how it's pronounced. And she is the goddess of magic, the moon, necromancy, ghosts, and witchcraft. I chose her because I'm about that life. I feel like I definitely use like divination and stuff like that all the time, doing like tarot readings, and I study the moon. Like my practice is pretty much dedicated to the moon. My business is even called Full Moon Beauty. So I felt really connected to her. And I guess like what she did as a goddess is she would go back and forth between like the underworld and earth. So she had the power to, what is that called when you never die?
Immortal.
Yeah, she was immortal. And then she could cross between like hell and earth.
Ooh, spooky. I love your
Me too.
setup.
I chose Aphrodite. She is an ancient Greek goddess and she represents romance, she represents passion, love, beauty, everything spicy that I am about. Um, and so, yeah, I chose her because of those reasons. With my look, I tried to give you like super glam to represent the just passion side of her and beauty. And then with the red lip, I tried to give you the romance and just kind of that girly, glam, beautiful, in love goddess.
I'm here for it.
Me too. I get that.
Thanks.
How about you, Bianca?
I chose the goddess. Her name is Eros. She's the muse of poetry and music. I love poetry. I wrote 2 poetry books, as you can see. One of them is called Dear Daughter, and the other is called Dear Black Families. But poetry is something that I really love. It really resonates with me. So, of course, I was going to come goddess of poetry. And I love music as well. And I mean, I can't really find a lot of book, poetry-esque stuff. But, I had a lot of music stuff to inspire this look. So if you look very closely, you can see like music notes in my braids. And then this is like a book. And yeah, that's what inspired my look.
Okay, details. Now, really quickly, y'all, before I talk about my goddess, when Bianca says she loves poetry, if you guys watch that verses with Brandy and Monica, and Brandy had a poem for everything, that's Bianca in real life. So.
That's
I was
Bianca.
I was very triggered by that.
Real life.
Okay.
We love you, though. We love you.
No, I do, though.
So my look, I decided to go with Pytho. She is the goddess of persuasion, seduction, and charming speech. And I mean, I decided to go with that one because I'm out here finessing, all over the world. No, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, I do believe in like using my words and like being very intentional with what I say, what I ask for, and what I speak into the universe. So that was part of the reason why I chose her as a goddess. And with my look, when you hear seduction, obviously you can go one route and be like super, super more like slutty. So I tried to be a little bit more conservative and covered, but I definitely wanted to go with red for like passion. And I kind of wanted to give you like a little Cleopatra glam, because, so that was my look. And my little bracelet here says love. You can't see it, but my little arm cuff says love. So we hope that you guys enjoy our goddess looks. And I guess now we can talk about ladies' night. So this is something that we plan on doing. It won't be every couple weeks or every month, but we will try to give you guys lady nights. And it's pretty much just a time for us to get together and chat, talk, ask questions, and engage with you all. So tonight, I believe everyone, for the most part, has a glass of wine, and I believe Shay, maybe moving forward, myself, Jazz, and Bianca will probably have alcohol. I promise we're not alcoholics. We just like to enjoy a glass every now and then. And I believe Shay will be providing the mocktails or the non-alcoholic beverage.
Today I'm just having an energy drink though.
An energy drink.
I'm here for it, Shay. I like it.
I am too, though.
I'm
Actually,
here for it because honestly, when it was suggested that we had wine, I'm not really a wine girl. Wine just does not do it for me. So I'm just doing a little sparkling water and vodka today.
ooh,
And it's a little low fat, low carb, you know.
I'm here for it. Bianca, what are you drinking today?
Just drinking your little neighborhood gas station barefoot. Peach flavor though, y'all. You know they got the different flavors. The peach is gone. That's all.
So today I'm using a straw because I didn't want to mess up my lipstick, but I am drinking Riesling. A little fun fact about me, I actually do not like sweet wine or white wine. So this is not really my preference, but someone gifted me a bottle and I have to drink it. So Riesling for me. So I think for today we are actually going to play a little, not really a game, but kind of go through some questions so you guys can continue to get to know us as your hosts a little bit better. So we all came with some questions for the group, ladies. I'm gonna pull out my phone too. I think I memorized them, but in case I look down, that's why. And I guess we can start off. Shay, do you want to kick us off with the first question for the group?
Yeah. Okay, what does your name mean?
I'll start. I don't know, to be honest. Like,
Your name is Jasmine. It's a flower. How don't you not know?
flower's not a meaning, it's what it is.
I mean, yeah, but like,
It's just not a scent. Anyway, I'm not sure what it means, but I will say, fun fact about my Jasmine, I actually spell my name Jazzmin. So when my parents knew I was a girl, my dad said, I want to name her Jasmine after Jasmine Guy, who is an actress. And my mom said, well, if we're naming her after Jasmine Guy, we get to spell it how I want to spell it. And so that's where the 2 Z's and the no E came from.
good to know.
I'm here for it.
I love her though on A Different World.
Me too.
Yeah.
And you fit the description perfectly. So what a great name for you.
Thanks, Pink.
Well, my name is Bianca. It's Italian. It means white. I hate the meaning of it, but I love the sound of it.
That's what it means. White?
Yeah.
It means white?
It means white in Italian.
Dang. Well, white means a lot of things. Like it means like wholesome, you know, like
Real Sunday service, like.
Wait, but I always thought Blanco. I thought Blanco meant white.
that's what I thought too, but I was gonna mind my business.
It does.
I don't think it's
It does. That Blanco means white in Spanish. It's Italian.
That makes sense though.
Yeah.
Y'all, listen, if you're watching this video, fact check that and let us know in the comments.
Please fact check that.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's my name, so I would know. But go ahead. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, so I'll go next. So Shawnee, and I know Bianca is thinking something, but I don't care. We're gonna keep it pushing. So Shawnee is a Native American tribe. And believe it or not, I want to say it's a name that belonged to the Iroquoian tribe. That may be wrong, but they're actually native to Ohio, which is interesting because that's where I reside.
Wow, that's really cool, Johnny.
It is.
Thank you, Jasmine.
My own question. So Shay is actually not my government name. It's just the name that my family calls me, and I really don't like my real name. So this is the first and last time you're gonna hear this. Don't call me this in the street. So my name, my God-given name is Shakayla, and it means a gift of God, or it also means pretty.
Oh, your name got a pretty meaning.
Beautiful.
That is so beautiful.
Wow.
All right, Bianca, do you want to kick us off with the next question?
Sure. My question is, what's an unpopular opinion that you have?
Jazz, you want to answer first?
Yeah. I feel like all babies are not cute.
Well,
I feel like even like when I look back on my own, like she was beautiful because she's my child, but cute, it wasn't like, oh, like I feel like when we say that it's like just a direct like because it's small and a little baby, you're like, oh, but I don't think that's always like look wise that they're cute.
I actually agree with that because when my daughter was born, also I'm like, she's beautiful. But even now, when I look back on some of her photos, I'm like, ooh, babe.
You be like, ooh. Ooh. You be like, ooh.
So,
Then you think about everybody who looked at her and was like, oh, and you're like, dang.
right. So really quickly, for me, unpopular opinion, I think that it's possible to be in love with more than one person at a time and also have multiple soulmates. I know a lot of people don't agree with that. I see Jazz's face in the corner already.
No.
I do think that's possible. I know a lot of people give me the side eye when I say that, but that's my unpopular opinion. Shay? She froze. I think she's really froze.
She is.
Okay. So Bianca, share your unpopular opinion and hopefully Shay comes back. This is a cute frozen.
It is.
It's so cute because it's like I got my drink.
It is.
All right, your unpopular opinion, Bianca.
I don't like when people say that your kids shouldn't be like your friends. I feel like although your kids are your kids, they're still people. And I just feel like a lot of times, like your relationships, I feel like parents try to dominate their kids instead of trying to make it seem like they're like an additional person. And that's why people say you shouldn't consider your kid your friend because you want to place authority on them. And I feel like my little homegirls. And that's my unpopular opinion.
I agree with that opinion wholeheartedly. Like I think along with that, one of my pet peeves is like when people say, along with like your kids aren't your friends, like making kids like eat stuff that they like just don't like. Like it's okay to not like something.
Yeah, because you're an adult and you don't like things,
like,
and nobody's forcing you to eat something that you don't like.
Right. Like I feel like there can always be like replacements. Like, okay, you don't like broccoli, let's find a vegetable that you do like. But I think the whole like I ain't one of your little friends. Like like, okay, my friends don't feed like it just all goes into like power where I feel like sometimes parents take power to another level.
Yep.
All righty. And then Shay, do you have an unpopular opinion?
Oh, I have several unpopular opinions, but I don't know if this show is ready for
Shay, throw us out your favorite.
my favorite unpopular opinion. I feel like the most current unpopular opinion I have is that I'm not voting.
That's a very,
But
that's,
why don't you tell us why? So the people not just like, oh my God, she's not voting. Why aren't you voting, Shay?
I'm not voting because I feel like this is the same as other non-voters will say, like they just don't want to choose between the lesser of two evils. On one hand, we have someone that is a racist, and then on the other part, we have somebody that is a possible child sex offender. So, um, just me being a mom, I personally cannot like really vote for Biden. So I don't know. It mostly is the sex trafficking that got me like, and I don't think so.
well, there you guys have it. Those are our unpopular opinions. Let us know in the comments if you agree with those or disagree. But one thing I will say, be respectful. So Jazz, you're up next.
Okay. My question is, if you had $20,000 to spend anywhere, the only catch is that it has to be an in-person store, so you can't do it online. But what store would you choose?
Ooh. Hey, do you want to go first?
I'm choosing IKEA. I love that store so much. I love decorating. Like, I love when you go in there, they have all the rooms ready for you to just like imagine all these ideas of how you want your home to look. I would, I could spend $20,000 in one day at IKEA for sure.
I've never actually been to IKEA, but I've heard good things about it.
It's nice and they're affordable.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to pick one place, this is so horrible. Honestly, wait, do I have to spend it all at one time, or does it have to just be that 20,000?
Yeah, it has to be all at one time, all in one time, and all in person.
Okay. In that case, I might go with, it's a tie between Target and TJ Maxx. I'm gonna go with TJ Maxx. Only because with TJ Maxx, I love that you can get sometimes like designer things for like low price. They have a nice diverse group of items. You can get home goods, you can get clothing, you can get perfume and face washes and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna go with TJ Maxx.
That's a good choice.
I'm just gonna stick and go ahead with Target. I mean, I can't even leave Target without spending $100 at any given moment. So I already know I could spend $20,000 at Target, and I could get everything at Target. I could get like house stuff, I could get clothes, I could get shoes, I could get makeup, I could get everything at Target. If I could get groceries, I could definitely spend $20,000 at Target.
So Bink took my answer, which I think is really unfair, but mine is Target too for those same exact reasons. Target is just my spot. It's where some of my favorite clothing items come from. I love their Cat and Jack collection. And so, yeah, food, clothes, home goods, home decor, all that type of stuff can be found at Target. You can get some electronics. I just think it's that one-stop shop for everything.
I agree. Target is life.
It is.
Target is life. Like, it don't make no sense.
It's so bad because you'll go in there for one item and like Bianca said, you will for sure leave with at least $75.
Oh, lately Target has been getting me with their mask. Like every time I go in there now, I come out with like 5 packs of masks.
Can't help it.
Right.
So, my question for you all is, what advice would you give your younger self?
Girl, You do not.
Don't scare her.
All I would say is I definitely would have told my younger self, don't even worry about trying to get married and be a wife and have and do all of that as young as you thought you needed to do that. I know we always be like, I want to get married and have kids by the time I turn 25. I want to tell my younger self, don't do that. You don't even know what you wanted back then. Like, girl, 25, you don't even know who you are. 25-year-old Bianca looks nothing like 29-year-old Bianca. Why would I do that? So I just want to tell my younger self, take some time, really get to know yourself, learn yourself and what you actually like, and then take the time to, pursue that kind of relationship if that's what you're interested in.
For sure. What about you, Jazz?
I would tell my younger self to kind of think about the whole idea of college before going. And I say the idea of, because I feel like I only went to college because that's what was expected. Like it really wasn't no question. It was like, you go to high school, you go to college, you graduate from college, you get a job. You stay in that job until you retire. And that was just always what I was told. And it's like now going into 30, I'm just like, I wish I would have just, kind of at least, if not stood up for myself more, at least had something to bring to the table other than college. Because back then, I feel like that's all I knew. I just thought that was the path you had to take. Or you would be poor. Living on the street, homeless. Like that's really how it was told. Like, go to college or be homeless. Which one are you gonna choose?
But now it's go to college and you still homeless, so it don't even matter.
You still homeless.
So, yeah.
All right. What about you, Shay?
I would tell my younger self to like just be myself and to do the things that I enjoy doing. Because I feel like the younger version of me was like really desperate to fit in. So I just kind of hid a lot of parts of myself when I was younger. And I feel like I was high-key a follower. So if I could go back into my younger self, I would just say like, just be yourself. And then the people that are meant to be your friends will gravitate towards you.
Yeah. If I could tell my younger self one thing, it would be just to speak up. I feel like so many times I've been passive and just kind of went with the flow, whether it was like my career, friendships, relationships, kind of putting others' needs or like what they wanted or what they thought before my own. But if I could go back, I would definitely tell myself, speak up, speak your truth, and to kind of prioritize yourself. You know what I mean? Because it's so easy to just, let other people take the lead and just follow their coattails, but you're your own person. So sweet. All right. So next round of questions, really quickly. I believe, is it Shay now? I think it's Shay.
Who is your favorite music artist? Number one out of anybody. Your favorite. If you got in a car right now and had to put on one artist only, who would it be?
I'll go. If I had to put on one artist only, it would have to be Aubrey Graham, also known as Drake.
Yeah, okay, girl.
Ashay was like, who is Aubrey Graham? What about you, Bianca?
Who is Beyonce? I don't mean to be cliche or stereotypical, but me and Beyonce like this. If I'm getting in the car,
it's so cliche. I remember getting in Bianca's car, like this had to be like 2018, maybe 17, but she was literally listening to 96.5.
Okay.
Like,
I do enjoy me a good
why are you
listening
to 96.5 in pretty much 2019 when we're all like, your girl just has a variety, and I love that about her.
I'm about to say I too, but she said if we had to get in the car and that would be like my go-to person. I have eclectic music taste, but like Beyonce is always, you can't go wrong with Beyonce or
You
Janae.
can't. You can't.
Ooh, this is tough. Honestly, I would have said Drake, but for the sake of keeping it diverse, I think my runner-up would be, I'm gonna say Big Sean, honestly.
Oh, I love Big Sean.
And it's only because like I don't think a lot of people listen to like he actually makes a really diverse group of songs. So he talks about everything, but he makes my favorite type of song, which is like just get into it, hustling, grinding. And whenever I'm in that mood, which is usually if not 7 days a week, about 5 to 6 days a week, I'm listening to Big Sean for sure.
Yeah, his new album is Chef's.
Exactly, I agree. So what about you say?
I would pick his twin flame, aka Janae Aiko. I feel like all her music speaks to me in different parts of my life. Like I can always listen to one of her songs and be like uplifted in whatever I'm going through. So that's my girl.
Snake would definitely be my number 2.
Yeah,
Mine too.
probably mine too, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, Bianca, what's your next question?
What do you think is a taboo topic that you don't think should be taboo?
Oh, mine will be sexual health, especially consider we're women. And, I feel like when we talk about our menstrual cycles, when we talk about birth control, it's like men or the general population expect us to keep it a secret or not talk about it. And I feel like it has been getting better over the years, but still it's like, I was listening to some podcast the other day, and the girl kept apologizing to her male co-host, like, "I'm sorry, I keep talking about this," because she was on her cycle. And it's just like, why are we apologizing? We literally birth every generation. Like, I'm not gonna apologize for having a womb. I'm not doing it.
I think mine would be Christianity in the form of sex before marriage and sex while married. I think that a lot of, I like to call them Christians, like myself, who was in church every Sunday, and just kind of like a routine. I think I was taught to think like sex was bad in general. And like I get the whole like before marriage, but then I feel like in the Christianity world, it's just not talked about at all. So then when you do get in a relationship, it's like you're kind of like the prude in your relationship, but you also were never taught about sex.
Yeah, I can relate to that wholeheartedly. Like, I feel like my mother's sex talk was an abstinence talk. Like, just don't have it. She did anything in her power to discourage me from it, which is cool and everything. But then when it was time for me to have sex, I had no clue about what to do or my sexual health or any of that.
And I felt like the smallest things that weren't even like, oh my gosh, you're disgusting, was like disgusting. Like even when like I feel like even in the beginning, my idea of sex was the man on top, the woman on the bottom, you rub, and then you're done. Like, so it took me like a while to be like, no, like, act up a little bit. So yeah.
Act up a little bit then.
Those are really good ones. If I had to choose something, and some people may not feel that this is taboo at all, but for me, I would say like spirituality. I feel like in the age that we live in, spirituality is becoming way more diverse, and it's not just Christianity or like atheists, which I feel like for a long time it was like you either believed in God or you believed in nothing. And now it is becoming to a point now where people have extremely diverse beliefs, and they worship what they feel called to worship. And I wish that there were just more discussions about spirituality, and not necessarily religion. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot of discussion about religion, but not so much, you know, being spiritually called to follow whatever it is that you believe in.
Yeah.
Well, my taboo is I think that people need to talk about people living different lifestyles. I feel like we all are like formed to like, you know, when we think about family, we have like this general perception of like there's a dad and there's a mom and there's kids and that's a family. And then we can say that we're accepting of other families, but it really isn't normalized for a family to look outside the standard family. And I think that we should start talking about what other families look like. Like, I know they try to put representation, but I really feel like when we talk about like being open to discussing like new, you know, being more open to what it looks like in people's households and their like sexuality and stuff, but I still feel like it's still not normal if you see two moms and a family or two dads in a family when it should be like normal. So I feel like we should just be able to talk about like different lifestyles.
All right, Jazz, you're next.
My next question is, what was your favorite childhood toy? Only one.
My favorite childhood toy was Barbie. I know that's like a wide umbrella of what Barbie was, but like I just loved Barbies when I was a kid. I loved the many different like career options she had, the fact that she was a mom, a sister, and I just really feel like she was a good example for like, you know, girls growing into women that's like we could really do or be anything. And the fact that it's a different Barbie for every girl, like every Black girl, every Hispanic girl, they tried to be a little bit diverse. They even had the little Asian Barbie style.
For me personally, I was always a tomboy growing up. So my favorite toy is actually a game system. So like I remember being a kid and like my dad getting me like the original, the first like Nintendo. I still have it to this day. That was my favorite thing ever. Video games and system.
I love the light bright toy. Do y'all remember that? They were like little pegs and they were light, and then you like put them up against like a black like piece of paper and you push them in and then they light up. It was some artsy type stuff. I always been like a real artsy type little kid, and that was my favorite one.
Well, my favorite toy was my Techno dog. He was silver. He was like a robot, and he had these eyes, and they did these eyes, and he had a little silver bone, and like he kind of had like a basic little bark, and I will never forget about that dog. Like Techno, that was the name of it too, and I think I just kept the name like Techno.
Yeah, Techno was cute. I remember him.
I had one of those too. And that was the only pet my mom would allow.
Me too. I think that was the other thing. It was my only pet.
You want a dog? You can have this toy one.
You know what other toy that I used to really like? The Gigapet.
Oh yeah, I love
the
Gigapet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had Salem as a Gigapet, and that's what made me think of him because I had to keep him alive.
All right, so I will go next. So outside of your favorite childhood toy, what is one of your favorite movies?
I can't pick one. I don't have one. Like I literally have a top 5, and I can't even.
So what's in the top 5? You have to name at least one.
Bring It On, The Lion King, Chicago, Burlesque. That was my favorite. I'm sorry.
Bring It On is my fave. I still know all the cheers.
Me too.
What about you, Jazz? Oh, well, I'll go. Mine would actually this is going to be kind of dark. Maybe. There's a movie called Sweeney Todd. Have you guys ever seen that?
Yeah, that would be some shiny stuff to like.
That's actually my favorite movie. And I used to watch that when it first came out. I had to be super young too. But I love that movie to pieces. I love anything any type of musical, I'm sold. So,
Me too. I love a good musical.
and I love Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter. So that's my favorite for sure.
He got me in Edward Scissorhands. That's one of my all-time favorite childhood movies.
Yes.
This is really tough for me, guys. Seriously. But I had to say my top, or it's in my top, but favorite movies would have to be Bridesmaids. Bridesmaids.
Raven-Symoné?
No, Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids.
I've never seen it.
Told me I'm poor. Yes, she has.
And like she came in with the sunglasses.
When she has her maid of honors competing basically for her.
Okay, so can I tell you guys a little story? Since Bianca loves me and her other best friend and has two, I always related to that movie because the two best friends stand up there and pretty much compete for the like maid of honor speech. And I just relate to that movie because of that, because I think we have like that same similar situation. It's just a really funny movie too.
Yes, you guys gotta watch it. You don't think
gotta watch Bridesmaids.
I can't believe you've never seen that.
Well, it sounds like a rom-com, and you know I'm not really a rom-com girl.
I'm gonna make you watch it.
Like a romantic comedy.
I like romantic comedies, but you know I like the black ones, like Love and Basketball, that type of.
Yeah.
If I had to say my second movie, it would be Best Man Holiday.
Holiday.
Best Man Holiday. There was a part 2 to Best Man?
Girl, what? Yes.
Oh, I did not know that.
I cannot take you and living under this rock.
I'll get it together, y'all. I'll get it together. All right, you guys. So last round of questions. Shay, do you want to kick us off?
Yes, so my next question is kind of a two-part question. So it is, what is your favorite thing about yourself? One of them has to be a physical attribute, and then one of them has to be like, you know, some type of skill or something that you love about yourself. Something else that's not about your looks.
Do we have to keep the skill PG?
No, we
are. Get spicy then.
I'm just kidding. It's the line, y'all. I'm gonna go second to last. Do you want to kick us off, Bianca?
Sure. My favorite thing about myself is my ambition. I like just always knowing that, you know, I ain't gonna be no bum bitch out here. Like, I'm always gonna be striving to be the best version of myself, and I can count on me to make sure that I'm always going to be at the top. So I love myself for that. My favorite physical attribute about myself is my legs, because they like real long, real in shape. They look real good. I can't show you all on the camera, but you know, check my Instagram. You know? That's my favorite.
What's the Instagram tag then?
Oh, it's XO_love_bink.
Hey, y'all check Instagram. Let us know.
Nah, so look, you know, y'all see, no. But yeah.
What about you, Jazz?
Okay, I think my favorite attribute about myself will be that I, at all times, just kind of have the ability to turn it on. I can be under the most stressful situations and no one would ever know. I could walk into work after a terrible morning and I just have that ability to turn it on and kind of just tell myself that, like, you know, it's kind of my way of like telling myself like life goes on, but I can do it in any type of situations. And I think my customer service background in that. And then my favorite physical attribute about myself, it would kind of just have to be me. Like the way I'm able to just switch up my look at any moment that I desire.
My girl said there's not a single thing, it's the whole package.
It's the whole thing, everything.
Okay. For me, I would say my favorite thing about myself is I don't know, I feel like I have the ability to really manifest whatever it is that I desire. I don't know if it's like kind of piggybacking off of Bianca, like my ambition to just work hard for it, or just like, I don't know, I just feel like God be listening to my prayers. But no matter what it is, I feel like I've always been able to achieve and reach my goals. And then my favorite physical attribute, I don't really know, you guys. To be honest with y'all, I've always been a little bit insecure, so I've never really been 100% confident in my physical appearance. But
There's not one thing when you look in the mirror you can name and be like, "Ooh, I'm a baddie." Like,
not really. I mean, the thing that people usually give me compliments on are like dimples, but even that I don't like because I only got one now. Like, what happened? So I'll go with my dimple. My dimple. That's what I'll go with.
I mean, your hair is also gorgeous. So let's not.
Right.
Oh, this is the weave.
Even when
You're-
it's not the weave, Shani.
Okay, sure.
I have to work on that because there is no modest woman in our square.
All right, you guys. I'm gonna work on that. I just shared something with all of our listeners out there, so I'll work on my insecurities.
Yeah, we all working on it though.
Every day.
Mm-hmm.
My best attribute of myself is I feel like I'm very adaptable. Like no matter what circumstance I'm in, I'm able to, shape shift for what I need to be in that role. And I feel like that helps me to just like keep going in life, like not give up and stuff like that because I could just adapt to any circumstances. And my favorite physical attribute myself is my lips because they're so juicy and cute.
Yes, lips. See, I got a small top lip. Which one do you matter?
You can overline like Beyonce be doing.
So, who has the next question? Is it Bianca?
I'll go next.
Oh, Jazz. Okay.
Where would be your dream place to call home? Like if you could call anywhere home, like take out if family can go, like think about it if family can't go. Where would just if anybody asked you where would be your dream home, where would it be?
That's tough.
This is really easy for me because I just want to be like a Snow White. I want to live in the forest amongst the animals and the creatures in a tiny cottage with a stream in my backyard. And I want to grow my own food and live a vegan, minimalistic lifestyle. But obviously, I have 2 children and they won't fit in a tiny home.
It's okay, Shay. This is beyond the realisticness of it all.
I don't think I have like a location that I'm particularly want to drawn to. I think it would be more so like the environment. I think I just want like a comfortable environment. So it could be in the middle of the woods, it could be in the street, but all I need is my amenities. I would like a nice modern home. I would like a backyard. I would like an infinity pool. I would like views. I would like a patio. I would like, when I turn, like maybe like a sunset or shit in my backyard when I turn around, like off the water or some shit. Cause maybe my infinity pool will like run over into like a river or something. I don't really know. All I know is I just want a nice home that, cause honestly, like I like being in the house. And I feel like if I had a house that had all my amenities in it, I'd be cool. I never have to leave. It would be cool.
Ooh, I don't know. I think I will say this. I also don't have like a specific geographical location, but I also just want a huge plot of land, something that's extremely private, because for me, the ideal place would be something where I really could just create my own little world inside of my, my 4 walls. I don't know. I kind of agree with Shay. Some place where I could plant my own garden, raise my own livestock, not to eat, but just to produce or whatever. And I agree with Bianca. I kind of want all 4 seasons. Like I want snow sometimes. I want summer. I want spring. And I want fall. I don't know. That's a tough one for me. Sorry, y'all. I wish I had a better answer.
So I think mine, I've actually been to mine before, but I didn't live there, but technically I've lived there. But mine would be up northern Sedona, Arizona, because I don't know, it's just beautiful, it's peaceful, and it's one of just the best places I've visited. And I loved the weather when I lived in Arizona, and it was just my favorite place I've ever lived, and I want to go back.
Any plans to move back?
No, not at all. Unfortunately.
I ask. All right. Do you want to go next, Bianca?
Yeah. My question is, what makes you feel accomplished?
I want to answer that question, but I kind of feel the same way that Shadi feel about my question. Like, even though I feel like I do a lot of things, I don't feel secure enough to where I can stop doing more things. So I can't really like pinpoint it to one thing that makes me feel accomplished, because I feel like there's so much more that I want to do that will actually make me feel accomplished. Like right now, I don't really feel accomplished.
I agree. I never feel accomplished. I think that's not, I don't know. I feel like it's an issue because like I've actually have accomplishments, but they never feel big enough or good enough. And I don't know if that's like a personal issue with myself or if they aren't good enough, but they just don't feel good enough to me.
I mean, but honestly, you guys, do you guys think that's like an issue that we just have? And I won't even say just in like the Black community, but just in society in general, that we accomplish and do so many amazing things, but societal norms tell you to always be striving for more, for better, like keep going, keep going, keep going, because both of you have done some like really, really awesome things. So the fact that you guys are sitting here saying, I've accomplished a lot, but I don't have anything that makes me feel accomplished is kind of like baffling to me, honestly.
I think I don't like social media, I feel like, because, especially nowadays, we see people accomplish so much at young ages. Like we're all like either 30 or near 30. So it's like we're just now getting started on our path. So what we really want to do was going to make us feel like so accomplished. And nowadays it's like 19-year-olds, they got like $1 million businesses. So it kind of just makes you feel like you haven't really hit that level of like, maybe like I think monetary accomplishments, because I could say I did a lot of things, but none of those things are bringing me in the type of money that's going to make me feel like
I'm an accomplished. Yeah.
I would say one of my greatest accomplishments has definitely been motherhood. I feel like motherhood is just, it's not only so hard, but I feel like no one really tells you how hard it is. And I think, just like even, I'm not a single mother, but I feel like I don't have any family here. So even tackling it without a lot of help is definitely difficult, but I feel like I'm rocking it.
Yes, I love that. I mean, I agree. Like I definitely will say that I have not reached, my end goal, so to speak, but there are so many things that make me feel accomplished. Like to piggyback off of Jazz, like knowing that I'm raising like a beautiful, intelligent little toddler that's, you know what I mean? That she's like a great human being makes me feel accomplished. Purchasing my first house last year makes me feel accomplished. I also still do agree with Shay and Bianca to the point where it's like, there's so much more that I want to do. But I don't know. I also feel like we have to kind of stop sometimes and reflect and give ourselves credit for the fact that we're even still here, still, you know what I mean, doing even just this web show, talking to people, trying to inspire and help others, and like that in itself is an accomplishment.
You're right, Shani.
Stop it.
You
True
are.
though. That is really true. Like I feel like sometimes as people we just look at like the end goal and we're like, well, I'm not to that end goal, so I haven't accomplished anything. And it's like you have to accomplish things on the way. Like that's why in Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts they encourage the badge system. Because what the badge system entitles is that you one step on the way.
I'm not about
Well, thanks, Jazz.
real quick. I know this doesn't have anything to do with our questions, but did you guys get a message from the Boy Scouts or the Girl Scouts recently?
No, what? I was a Girl Scout.
So I wasn't either, but I just got a text message a couple days ago.
No, I thought I was.
Oh, you were?
Right now, you just got a text message?
No, but I got a text message the other day, you guys, and I'm sorry, y'all. We're gonna get back to the questions, but I literally got a text message the other day, like, "Were you a Boy Scout? If so," it was basically telling me to respond and let them know if I was a victim of any type of like.
I already know where this is going. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really strange too, the way that people's parents back in the day used to just let them go anywhere, just send them to camp, just send them to a Boy Scout, Girl Scout meeting, just let them go sleep over people's house. My mom was not one of those moms. She
My mom was either.
your daddy, your grandma, where you live at, all that before she was allowing me to go spend the night at somebody's house. And I think a lot of incidents happened because parents was just way too comfortable letting their kids go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of parenting, I believe this is the final question. My question actually has to do with parenting. So if you guys don't know, we are all moms, and I'm curious to see for the ladies, what is your favorite and least favorite thing about being a parent?
My favorite thing about being a parent is knowing, like, seeing evidence that I'm raising a good person. I feel like kids are like, I feel like there's this perception that we like mold and shape our kids, which we do, but for the most part, I feel like kids like come how they are. Like they have their own little personalities, like they're their own people. So I love seeing examples of like, yes, she's her own person, but there's some lesson that I taught her that actually like she shows me that I'm showing her how to be a good person. Like even when she's very kind to other kids, like usually her general demeanor is real spicy, for lack of a better word. But I like when I see her being very kind to other kids, or when I see her being helpful, or when I see that she actually is like the kind, she is utilizing the things that I try to instill in her versus, like just being a kid. Like I take pride in seeing her be a good individual, like feeling like I'm raising a good person. That's my favorite part about being a mom.
What about the least favorite part though?
I really ain't got patience for real, and it take a lot of patience to raise kids. And I've been trying, I'm just like, I just realized like I ain't really that patient. So as a parent, you guys know that shit requires tons of it. So I have to just every day like try to find some, because it'd be really hard for me to have it. So that's my least favorite part.
I'm gonna start with my least favorite part. So my least favorite part is just not really having the freedom to do the things that I want to do, not having the time to put towards myself, which obviously, as a part of self-care, we have to make some sort of time. But when you're a single mom, then you know that your personal time is going to get pushed to the side less than more likely. So I just wish I had like more time and energy to put towards myself. I feel like it's a big difference between somebody that has no kids and that's our age versus like us and having kids, the way that our priorities and responsibilities is set up is totally different. And I can't just like go on vacation next week. I have to set that up months in advance. So like that's something I prefer not to have to deal with. Nanny me, please. My favorite thing though is just really watching them like grow into themselves, like learning who they are as people. Cause kind of like what Bianca was saying, they just have their own personalities and stuff like that. So it's just really fun watching them grow up. Like when I look back at my pictures and see like, oh my God, this is the moment they was born, and then just able to reflect into who they are now, it feels so rewarding. And kids really give you a level of unconditional love that you've never experienced before.
So I'll start with my least favorite too. And my least favorite is kind of like Shay's in a way, but I think my least favorite part of parenting is that I'm not raising my daughter like around family. Because I know that not only for that self-care piece that they would be there and that I would kind of have just a village, also just from a piece aside, just from the piece aside from that where she would be able to, be brought up around her other side of the family. And I think being really family oriented, like she's just missing out on all the things that I had as a child. And then my favorite thing about parenting is the same, really just watching her become like a real little human. Like, I don't even look at her as like a little kid anymore. I really look at it as like a little human, like growing, developing, maturing, and just when she does things that I don't even know, like, I'm like, where, I didn't even know you knew that. Like today, she was like, Sash saying left to right or something, but she was saying like left and right. So I don't know if they be doing line dances at daycare, but homegirl knows her left from her right. And I was like, that's impressive. Like, it's just stuff like that where you find out by them doing their own little things. And that's just one of the best parts of parenting, motherhood.
I agree. One of the best parts for me is really I always say this to anyone that asks me, like I feel like my daughter actually has taught me more than I have taught her. Like raising her has taught me how much like, well, the things that I learned may not be true anymore, or you know what I mean? Like it's helped me break so many um just norms that I thought like this is the way it has to go. But raising my own child, I switch it up and I change things. And I feel like she's kind of, to be honest with you, for lack of a better word, forced me to step myself up and like become a better role model, a better person, because I know that she is always, always watching. And you guys probably know, like your kids will low key do everything that you do.
Not even low key at this point. Like they're petty with it. Like you can do the worst thing. They can be not listening to you say anything. The moment you drop a cuss word, they repeat it. And you'd be like, so we couldn't repeat, I don't know, the first part of my conversation. They know what they're doing.
So that's been the best part for me, is just like her honestly just forcing me to become a better version of myself. And I kind of agree with like Jazz and Shay. Like the least favorite part for me is just feeling like I don't have time for myself. And as a parent, because you have to raise your child, they become like the number one priority. Sometimes it's so easy to forget to prioritize yourself and take care of yourself and feed yourself and bathe yourself and like all of that stuff. So that's probably my least favorite part, but I'm working on it slowly but surely. So. Well, we hope you guys enjoy all of our questions. Feel free to drop your answers to any of the questions in the comments and let us know, how you feel about anything. If you agree, if you disagree, we love hearing feedback, responses, and just seeing, how everyone else feels too. So drop it below, and we will catch you up on the next ladies' night soon. We will wait. Hold on. I'm gonna cut that part out and redo it. And we will catch you on the next ladies' night soon. Y'all, I'm drunk. Forget it.
Really include that part.
They gonna get the first one. I'm drunk.
Okay.
Yeah, bloopers at the end.
What?
Bloopers at the end.
Bloopers? Yeah, we can do that. I'll add the bloopers because I tried to redo it. All right, one more. I'm gonna try to do it one more time.
Bianca, you gotta look at the camera.
Oh, my bad.
So we hope you guys enjoy all of our questions and we hope to hear from you soon. We will catch you on the next ladies' night soon. All right, cool. And then I'll make the rest bloopers.
Bitch, we kissing the cameras and shit.
We hope to be with you guys soon, and we'll catch you on the next ladies' night soon.
Whatever, y'all. All right.